Mark Zuckerberg wrote this week from Meta a public letter saying admitting Biden-Harris administration pressured Facebook to censor Americans. 2, that Facebook did censor Americans. And 3, that Facebook throttled the Hunter Biden laptop story because it came out that they were told that there's going to be some Russian misinformation. They should censor this. And that while they were reviewing by fact checkers the laptop theory and all this stuff, that they did throttle it. And he immediately responded in his video, or I think he reads in what he wrote as well, that looking back at it, while it was being revised or being checked by fact checkers, it shouldn't have been throttled. It should have been out to the press until our final check was done, until we came out with a conclusion. Yeah. And that he does regret the censorship that the company did by being pressured by the administration to do so.
Did he by any chance elaborate on what being pressured means?
I'll share it. You want to read it out loud for us?
Yeah, I would love to read it. I haven't read it, actually. I've been seeing posts, but I haven't read it. It's a full page. Ain't nobody got time for that. No, I'm kidding.
It is a page.
But yeah, Meta posted, Chairman Jordan. This is how it begins. I appreciate the committee's interest in content moderation on online platforms. As you are aware, Meta has produced thousands of documents as part of your investigation and made a dozen employees available for transcribed interviews. Further to our cooperation with your investigation, I welcome the opportunity to share what I've taken away from the process. 3 dots. There's a lot of talk right now around the U.S. government's about how the U.S. government interacts with companies like Meta, and I want to be clear about our position. Our platforms are for everyone. We are about promoting speech and helping people connect in a safe and secure way. As part of this, we regularly hear from governments around the world and others with various concerns around public discourse and public safety. In 2021, senior officials from the Biden administration, including the White House, repeatedly pressured our teams for months to censor certain COVID-19 content, including humor and satire, and expressed a lot of frustration with our teams when we didn't agree. Ultimately, it was our decision whether or not to take content down, and we own our decisions, including COVID-19 related changes we made to our enforcement in the wake of the pressure. I believe the government pressure was wrong, and I regret that we are not more outspoken about it. I also think we made some choices that, with the benefit of hindsight and new information, we wouldn't make today. Like I said to our teams at the time, I feel strongly that we should not compromise our content standards due to the pressures of any administration in either direction, and we are ready to push back if something like this happens again. That's good, because they shouldn't be pressured to do anything, and if they are being pressured, then they should fight back against it.
Definitely were pressured when it was happening.
There's more to it. The full New York Times, fact checkers. Okay. Apart from content moderation, I want to address the contributions I made during the last presidential cycle to support electoral infrastructure. The idea here was to make sure local legislation jurisdictions across the country had the resources needed to help people vote safely during global pandemic. I'm on the next page. I skipped that last paragraph.
Yeah, I was about to move over there.
I made these contributions through the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative. They were designed to be nonpartisan, spread across urban, rural, and suburban communities. Still, despite the analysis I've seen showing otherwise, I know that some people believe this work benefited one party over the other. My goal is to be neutral and not play a role one way or another, or to even appear to be playing a role. So I don't plan to make I don't plan on making a similar contribution this cycle. Yeah, okay. That last paragraph, the one that I skipped, actually go back to it because that had the information that we were talking about. In a separate situation, the FBI, this is the very last paragraph, yeah. In a separate situation, the FBI warned us about potential Russian disinformation operation with the Biden family and Burisma in the lead up to the 2020 election. That fall, when we saw a New York Post story reporting on corrupt allegations involving then Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden's family, we sent that story to fact checkers to review and temporarily demoted it while waiting for a reply. It since has been made clear that the reporting was not Russian disinformation, and in retrospect, we shouldn't have demoted the story. We've changed our policies and processes to make sure this doesn't happen again. For instance, we no longer temporarily demote things in the U.S. while waiting for fact checkers. That's a good change.
He said it.
Mm-hmm. The Biden laptop was not Russian disinformation. It was indeed corruption by the Biden administration.
There was corruption. Well then, but him admitting it just proves the fact. You found it out with the Twitter files, but just now him admitting it, saying we're done here.
Mm-hmm.